Welcome to our channel, Building a Boat by the River. Good to see you all back. In this episode we go deep into the sliding hatch and companionway. That involves a lot of preparation and thought before we start building it. We then move on to the sliding hatch, which has a camber in it, and we have to determine that camber and laminate plywood to hold that camber while we make the sliding hatch. In between all this we move to the portholes, where we cut 4 portholes in the side of the cabin. This is a bit of a daunting task but offers maximum reward once we're done, because we get light into the cabin again and the cabin really takes shape and we can see what she's going to look like with her little eyes winking at us. So we hope you enjoy this episode. A big thanks to you, our viewers, for liking and subscribing and following along our little journey of building our wooden boat, Tarkine. I'm done. So this is the hatch I built earlier for the forward hatch. None of that was done on camera and this is not finished. But it's a good idea, it gives a good idea of what we want to do here. We'd like quite a high hatch that tapers down so that we can get in and out of the hatch without having to slide it.
Potentially when it's
Potentially. Back. So if there's a bit of wood here, let's say, with a bit of camber, I can fit in and down quite easily. And yeah, you can't see over it actually. I guess you can go that way and then dodge waves behind it, like a little spray dodger.
It's going to be longer than this one. Right.
Yeah, it's going to be longer. This is too short. The ends will go out there somewhere.
And a little bit higher, and then we're talking doors.
Yep.
We'll stop it.
Right, just lift this off. Yes. Oh, chicken poo, man. So if this gets clamped here somewhere.
This is for the mock-up.
This is for mockumentary.
But you reckon it's going to be about that long?
Not that long, but they're over length. The last one I made the runners too short, and it was just bad. Oh, really want to do that again. So then, this one doesn't really matter which way is which way. Basically that's going to taper in like that because now it's already a lot shorter.
Oh yeah.
That's going to taper in, it'll actually drop down probably to a bit of a feather edge like that. Almost. That's it, pocket in, Andy.
And then how much room? And then with a bit of camber, it'll be quite high.
Yeah.
The only thing that we should probably try and test out is if when you're sitting in the cockpit.
Yeah, you won't be able to see past it, but when you sit to one side.
Yeah.
I think it's more when you're sitting here in bad weather, you can kind of just hide under this hatch and then look out, you know. It'd be cool if you can sit in here.
Yeah, because we have no other weather protection really
No.
planned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably nice. It's big, but that's not a worry, and we just have to try and think how much camber we want, because you either do you mimic the camber of the cabin or for the hatch?
Yeah, I think they're usually a bit more, but we don't have, we can do whatever we want.
No, that looks like you can't go any lower. That would look weird.
Yeah.
You probably have to spot it from.
Might help if there's a post there that might put a bit more in perspective, but
I'll have a look at it from down.
yeah, that's probably smart. Might be a bit hard to tell.
Yeah, it's probably going to be fine.
So what I'm doing is working on the sliding hatch for the top of the cabin. This involves replicating sort of two sides that the hatch will slide down. So I'm just trying to be quite accurate and making sure everything goes together correctly. So I've got two pieces here. These are all set up, and then I'm making the other one on top so that I know I'm doing it correctly. Cool. Rough and straight. Oh. Bad clamps. So this bit's going to fit like that. Right. And stuffed it up. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is take an angle off everywhere, which is going to be interesting.
To give it that depth.
Yeah, to give it the shape. And sort of roughly loft it on. Like, it won't be very big probably. Something like that. Give it a sort of nice little thing. And then that shape goes back in here. It's going to be interesting. Might be really easy. Who knows? Sometimes it is. I'll give it a go. Good morning. We're going to glue the sides of the main hatch together today. So it involves a few pieces, but you may have seen they're sort of built like a big wedge. And then they have a little inlay, decorative inlay, with a sharp sort of bevel on it to create a bit of texture and looks. We're going to glue it together with epoxy. This first stage is sort of getting the two sides together so we can fix them to the deck, and then everything starts off square and accurate from there. So yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. I've got the epoxy warming up with a heater there because it's getting quite cold now. So if you warm it up a little bit, it gives it a little kick to get going. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. All done. That's it. So I'll just give you a little update on where we are at with the hatch. The components are slowly coming together. It's a bit of a jigsaw puzzle and you really have to work in stages, but I think it's starting to look good. So we've got our vertical uprights, your sill on the bottom with a rebate for the doors, a bit of panel work in the actual sides. This is screwed in, that'll get bolted. We have bolts here and here. Just scribing it down and making it level and flat is the trick now. Obie, hey, Obie, look at me. Now Obie, some people are worried that you can't run. Is that true? They see you sleeping in the shed all day. They think that you don't move. Well, we'll show them, won't we? What do you reckon, bud? Time to run? Yeah, well, that's also... It's sort of running. You're in the middle of the road. Come on, mate. You're going to just stay there. You're done. Come on, show him how you run. Let's go. Oh, he's moving. He's off. He's off. He's off. Yes. So, trying to mark the portholes. There's 2 portholes we've decided, and we're just going to centre them off where the theoretical deck is and where the top of this edge is, and centre that. I've got this little jig that I can just sort of put on and kind of mark things if I need to, or find a centre. Yeah, it's a bit scary. And there's just no way of telling what's going on the inside, so I might just drill a hole through. Got to do it and see where it ends up, and then I can measure up and down and see where this fits. Centre there. There's a myriad of lines here, but when I put my deck plank here, that should be about the same, 65 or so. That's not the same. Shad. Another line. To make things more confusing. Yeah, that's about it there. So it's that top line. So I think router might clear the rest. Ta-da!
You can't really see it.
There's a bit more taken away. So what I'm doing here is I've got a template, this MDF board. Sorry it's so dark here, the light doesn't like it. But this is the circle. Oh. So this MDF board is the circle of this outside edge of this ring. So the theory is I can run a router with a roller on it around this to get a good curve, get a good circle. And I just keep going deeper and deeper and then it'll come off perfectly round. So first we started with the jigsaw and that was a rough cut, just inside the line. And then with this template I've made here, or jig, sorry it's actually a jig I think, then I can run my router around and make a good circle and the porthole will fit nicely. Just move my depth in a bit. So this is it. That's the inside, celery top. Camera. So here we can see this is the jig here that I run my roller around. That's the strip planked cabin. There's a layer of plywood and then a layer of veneer celery top where it's varnished on the inside. So yeah, that's the MDF jig, strip planked cabin, plywood, veneer. That is it. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to make a strong back to create laminations of plywood for our hatch, for the top of the hatch. So I'm hoping by laminating a few thin bits of plywood over, it'll create a stiff hatch and then we can glue planks to that. That's the camber of the hatch, just on a piece of plywood. Now I'll find some thin ply to sort of glue it on top of. Hopefully. Thanks Ian for these 2 lead ingots, much appreciated. Nice, I think we're good. Done. So I'd just like to thank you all for viewing. If you feel like more content or to be more involved in the process of the build and more up to date, then please check out our Patreon page. It's free and we put regular updates of where we're at in real time. Thanks again for watching and we'll see you next time. Welcome to our channel, Building a Boat by the River.